Right, so I forgot to mute my music, didn't I? There we go. We have a Division D West game. Been a while since I've done Division D, even longer since I've done others, but D it is today. So, as I'm going to lean back a little, talk up a little, be alright. We have lowered expectations facing off against Maximum Thrust, which should be a good series. I believe I cast for last time these two teams have met. And we are going to Infernal Shrine, so that means we do a little bit of a exclamation mark Infernal. As I do keep count of these. And I realize I've still got to update the title itself, which is a... what's the word I'm looking for? A flaw of mine. I forget to update the title quite a bit. So we have lowered expectations versus Maximum Thrust. That's game number 44. There we go. Done. That is all up to date now. Took me a little bit, but I got there in the end. So it should be an interesting series. I actually recognize these names. I feel like I have. And they're all Kel'Thuzar kitties. Just different type of Kel'Thuzar kitties. I've just realized it's impressive to say the least. So, lowered expectations, won the coin toss and chose first pick. So we can see the order of bands were Braxis, Holdout, then Battlefield of Eternity, then Cursed Hollow, then it went to Towers of Doom, leading us to Infernal Shrines, which everyone has heard me complain about before, and I will continue to complain about casting it more and more. So yeah, that will be that'll be a good series though. It should be a good first map. Thank you for following, Zalev? Woo! Yes, woo indeed. So as I remind on everything, there is a 30-second delay. So it will take a little bit for me to respond to your messages. Oh shoot, I forgot to say I'm ready. Whoops. As we are going to be getting into the game in a few moments, which I'm loving it. Starting in 5. That's a very bold statement to know you are starting in 5 seconds, mate. But nah, it is going to get you in the end. The game very much decides when it wants to start. No one else gets to start for it. Alright, let's see where Infernal Shrines go, shall we? Let me get into the game. Let me change it on over to the screen so I actually remember what I'm looking at. So, first pick is lowered expectations. What are we going to have them ban out first? I will be honest, I didn't do quite as much scouting as I usually like to for these matches, but I do cast live, as the last one did run a little bit longer than expected. No worries, Peach. I always very much enjoy casting both Clouded Minds and actually Fensad. Very much like both those teams. Just awkward what happened between map 2 and 3 there, and I feel very awkward that I then accidentally tried to invite Robot Wizard to a party knowing I was about to cast. Which again, apologies to Robot Wizard if you listened this far. I was not meant to add you to a party. I'm just dumb. No, King Andrew, I'm not filling in on what happened in Infernal Shrine 17, because I think... Actually, I can't remember who played it. I can't remember when it was. I think it's before I went on break. Yeah, before I went on a little hiatus. We can see Zul banned out, we can see Stukov banned out, we can see Junkrat banned out, so all pretty good bans for Infernal Shrines. But what are we going to see for number 4? Kel'Thuzar. Oh, it's this team. I remember this team now. We have a team with the Kel'Thuzad player. How could I forget that? But we see Joanna is picked up first. Very interesting. That was able to make it through the first full draft. First full ban phase. We can see Anduin and Blaze picked up. Don't know if that is going to be an offlane Blaze or if that's going to be a main tank Blaze. We'll just have to see when that finally comes around. Timer ticking down. What are we going to get next? We get a Kalthus. And... tank? No. Healer. We already have a tank. It's Malfurion. Malfurion's not one we see often very much anymore. So it'll be very interesting to see. And I should say, if Cloud of Minds and Finsad are still here, you will be available to see the VOD. Actually, I'll just ping you. Yeah, they should be able to see the VOD after it is all published. So, we do see Rexa picked up. Right, yep. I'm remembering some of these players more and more now when I see these bands. I'm like, yeah, this seems right. Canuck does love their Rexa. And we do see Varian banned out last, so we're not going to get any sort of blow-up style composition. Or at least it's not going to be as easy as Taunt, Root, Kill. It's going to have to be a little bit more planned out, and thank you for following Rock Your Worlds. As we see, Hogger and Tassadar are picked up. So it is going to be a main tank Blaze from Zayliv. And Tassadar is always a fun one to watch. Tassadar is pretty good on these maps in particular, such as Infernal Shrines. Does have good wave clear, shrine clear for his small shrine minions. We can see that we're getting a very heavy frontline composition for maximum for lowered expectations. They're going to want to win the objective, or they're going to have to give it. So either way, it is going to be one of the two things itself. Smile, Rock Your Worlds. Hope you're doing well. Kalthus is definitely one of those more interesting ones to treat as a hyper carry. Because it's not as easy to get... They're off the ground pretty early on, but it's definitely not as easy them getting the necessary damage. Obviously, Jinx to do well, but we are getting very heavy frontline compositions. We're getting a little bit of its own mini-meta happening down south, as we do have Deathwing picked up last. So both teams have free front lines. Neither team has anyone... I guess Imperius can get percent damage. Tassadar can get percent damage. Kalthus can get percent damage at level 7. So it should be very interesting to watch in that regard. And I guess Sonya can get it at 16 as well. Alright, that's going to be that draft. So what I'll do is I'm going to open the opening scene, and we'll see how the game goes, shall we? Horrible realization that I have to cook dinner after this. Why don't I do a second series? No, I just enjoy casting a lot. That is the true answer as to why. And I guess the dinner I'm making isn't particularly the longest. It is a nice, if anyone's curious, it is a nice chickpea curry. Yeah. Like a, oh god, my mouse is over here. Anyway, without talking about my dinner for too much longer until we get later into the game, we will have the teams up and ready. So on the side of Lowered Expectation, we have Telephius on the Joanna, Dingo Limboing on the Imperius, Pterosaur on the Malfurion, Spudmax, Kalthus, and right up we have Kid Canuck on the Sonya. And on the other side, we do have someone messaging me. Vacuity is on the Deathwing, Neon is on the Blaze, W-Star, Tassadar, User Era, Anduin, and Zayliv on the Hogger. So there was a little bit of a swap around there, I believe, as I think Zayliv was showing the Blaze at first. Let me just have a quick read of something, sorry. Right, and we do now have things going off. So, chickpea curry is delicious. It really is. I could talk about food for a while, in all honesty. Because I make like a proper like roast chicken. No. I will get distracted. Let me talk about the game first. I'll talk about the opening first, and I'll talk about my dinner plans. Because we do actually have Vengeful Root stacking by Derasaur. Interesting, we don't see Emerald Dream from it as well. Emerald Roots? Emerald Dreams from it? Very interesting. We do also see that they are stacking globes. Celiphius and Kalthus both stacking their Laws of Hope and Mana Shield. We also see Blaze. Neon is also stacking globes, and we can see them walk up into the middle of things, grab it, but Dingo does grab their own. And we can see Blaze does go down to a very well coordinated stun train as Dingo... I've got hiccups. As Dingo does hit the spear. And they're going to take bottom camp. Interesting. Oh, Hogger. Hogger with a very good bounce. Zalov getting to safety. The team does clear the middle wave, and all while we see bottom camp is slowly falling. They find out, oh, they're not on their siege camp, so they must be somewhere else. Go LE, go Lord Expectations, say Gingerbread Man. Okay. So, we don't call it cilantro here is probably the first thing I need to say now, but I quite like it. But yes, chickpea curry, very tasty. Coconut milk with it, adds a nice creaminess to it. Also, we do see that camp was eventually taken by the own team of Maximum Frost. Lowered Expectations did consider stealing it, but we were forced out. And now we see Kick in an awkward spot. Hogger now intercepting them. Didn't have a Q available. That is unfortunate. If that Q did come out from Zayla, that would have probably been a very dead Sonya indeed. Level 4s are through for both teams now, and the only really thing to note that is stacking here is going to be the Piercing Light on the Anduin. But interesting, we do see the Meltdown on Blaze. Not often you do see the damage reduction there at level 4. Often you do get the bigger oil spills. But this is still a very good talent, do not get me wrong. But yes, for fun fact for Americans listening, we just call cilantro coriander. It's the same thing. That's my whole statement of what's happening here. Things coming out. Both teams pick up their camps at the same time, so that'll be the eternal conflict happening there. How do you feel about black pep? I use it for seasoning frequently. Root coming out onto Neon. Neon finding a tree for your efforts. That's a good wall by Tassadar. Only finding Joanna, however. Stun coming out. The Iron Skin, however, was up, so Neon didn't quite get the stun off of it, John. Okay, Malfrex, if you think that, I'm sorry to tell you, you have a genes that just mean you're predisposed. You're always going to taste it. It's just a genetic thing at that point. My words are failing me because I'm apparently later into the evening now and I'm getting hungry. But that is because food is on my mind, but casting more so. As it has been a few kills in favor of Maximum Thrust during the subjective. So lowered expectations are being forced to give. And this is where I think the problem for lowered expectations, and really both comps come in. They don't deal with the boss very well. The Punisher is going to be difficult for them. Neither team has particularly good single target damage. They both have good very AoE damage. But in terms of burning down the Punisher itself, that is a much harder time. Okay, everyone, what was your... You're asking me, what was everyone's dinner in chat? Give me your dinners. I need inspiration. I don't have... I can cook pretty well, but I don't have the deepest of cooking pools, and I want to learn more dishes. Tell me, what did you make for dinner? Or what is your favorite dish you'd like to make? But we can see now the boss is being burnt down. Blind coming out on the end when boss jumps on top of the Imperius. As the Imperius is losing a lot of health, does tap. They are going to be fine here. Neon steps up a little bit too high. They stepped up. I'd say Icarus through too close to the sun, but Daedalus this time built a backup plan as user error yanks Blaze out of trouble. Spud Max using that big old Q to deal with. Neon unfortunately doesn't quite find Spud Max. Now we can see camp down bottom is being contested. Dingo gets slapped off by Zalev. Zalev doing what they can, rolls through. Camp being picked up by the side of Maximum Frost. We can see Hogger goes down there. Well, not Maximum Thrust, by lowered expectation. There's a few too many bounces by Maximum Thrust, and they go down. Oh, nice. Dingo is going to start the camp. They do have that AoE auto attack, so they can do pretty well at clearing it. Meanwhile, Neon has started their own siege camp themselves. User Era and W Star making their way up. Good. Good. Malfrax, are you having coriander as well? Cilantro, whatever you want to call it, because it's the same thing. Telephius and Spudmax actually taking a decent amount of damage from the Molten Breath, but the QT wasn't get too much from it because they were able to stay out. Steak tacos, no coriander. Well, that answers my question before you could even catch up to what I was asking. So now we see Anduin is backing. User Era is going to be playing it safe. Meanwhile, we can see, speaking about playing it safe, Kid Canuck is not having as fun a time. Does leap out of danger as 10s were through for both teams. So you also see Malfurion popping the Tranquility, which I think may have been a little bit early. Also, fun facts I was learned about Tranquility about it, because I never pick it when playing Malfurion. I usually take Twilight Dream. The upgrade gives cooldown reduction every time you hit your W. That's crazy. But we can see Dingo steps to the side. You can see they eventually grab it. Up, stabs a wall. That is now W Star in an awkward spot. The grab comes out. He's slammed onto the ground. He dies while User Era is holding him in his arms. He's clutching his baby boy of Tassadar, but Tassadar goes down. But speaking of which, Joanna dies on the other side of things. We see Deathwing gets traded out. We now see that it is Zayliv in the middle of things, but Neon gets a nice stun, but Zayliv's not able to live through all of it. Neon in trouble. Leap Sonya nearly back up, but no, there's no leap to follow in that time, so they are going to be fine at the end of the day. Dingo backs on up. They're not wanting to get caught out. But yep, it looks like we are going to get... What the hell was that? Sorry, something very glitchy on the screen just appeared there for a brief moment. I did not like it. We can see teams are going to be doing their camps. Actually, very good. Maximum Thrust is doing their Bruiser camp now. I do like this pickup, as it is definitely something that you're going to need to go deal with if you're lowered expectations. You can't just leave it forever. So you now have to clear this objective quickly, then go, or you're going to have to send someone up after potentially a team fight. But I think at this point you want to focus on clearing. Because instead, we're seeing a rather strong push coming up top instead. But I'm going to quickly talk about Rocks because I forgot to talk about them before. So we do see Tranquility leap. Calphus went the Phoenix. We see Blessed Shield and Wrath of Anguirus there from Perius. Also, this is going to be a good trade for the side of Maximum Thrust. They basically 1-for-1 to building there. Well, more than 1-for-1 to building currently. They got top pretty comfortably. And now the Punisher's only just getting to this now. And that Bruiser camp is now being stolen by both Tassadar and Hogger. So they are going to get away with a lot. Leap coming out onto Anduin. Punisher with a follow-up. Bunker was dropped next to it to see if they can save him. But no, this time around. And I think at this point you do need to send Kid Canuck back to deal with the push of Hogger and Tassadar. Wholesale halves coming on out. And it looks like Tassadar and Hogger knows what's about to happen and back on up. But they got the damage they needed. They got more than that one Punisher did. They've done excellent for that phase, and they don't need to do any more. They've done their job. But speaking about those two in particular, we do see, and I will talk about Maximum Thrust's heroic choices very quickly. Awesome Imperious just about by themselves, huh? We do have the Bellowing Roar on the annually called Hogger Deathwing, because Hogger went Hortapult. Other things to see, Black Hole Tassadar, which makes sense into these beefy boys in the front. And doing we Light Bomb and routing things out, Bunker Blaze. Good old B. Bunker Blaze time. Oh, Dingo gets pinged, does get slapped for the efforts by Zayliv. Keep backing on up, double root coming out, but Treant up to 10 stacks now. Stomp coming out, Pterosaur dodging things, Spudmax as well, did pop the... What was that called? Mana Addict, they popped that Mana Shield, but no, they did drop Phoenix as well, but that unfortunately wasn't quite in a good spot, and everyone just decided to leave the corridor. Definitely gets slapped a little bit by Kid Canuck. We do see the out of range of a Molten Breath. And now we get the rotation coming up. Oh, think about camp. Telephius a little bit split from the rest of the team. I'm going to close this so I actually have room to see everything again. Lightning, Molten Breath coming on out. Ooh, nice pull, nice leap. As we do see, W-Star is in a little bit of danger. Does drop Black Hole Kick in it. Stuck in the middle of everything. Does get knocked away by Zaylev, but goes down to the end. Tassadar finding them with that Q and follow-up Psystorm that is coming from it, as they did pick that hybrid build, picking the level 7 of Q, of W is cast on the first hero, enemy hero that Q hits. And it does a pretty decent amount of damage. I do like it. It's my preferred Tassadar build. I know it's not, you know, everyone's a fan of it. But imagine. Yeah. Imagine we're going to see percent damage at 16 as well from Tassadar. There's just a lot of beefy boys in the way. But in saying that, W still does very well into a lot of clumping. So it's a bit hard to say. Joe coming for the suck. We do see all minions die. Interesting to see we get the clear talent from Joe at level 4. Often you see it when we are running off lane Joe, but it can still work very well in other instances. Another shrine is active. Deathwing being chased. Oh, what's up, Molten Breath? Okay, yep. Deathwing is just making sure no one is sneaking around behind them. See, a wave gets cleared very quickly. And there is going to be a little bit of a setup for a gank here, but... Oh, Zaylev is the only one unfortunate enough to choose that direction. And they eat a lot of damage for it. And when it gets pulls them directly into the Joanna's open arms. And that is a good free kills. Vacuity gets an excellent Molten Breath stomp off. Now they're going to have to use their flight to fly on out. Dingo hits the spear onto Vacuity, but no, there is no stun available. Objective will be started by Sonya and the rest of the team stealing the camp of Maximum Frost. And that was a very well set up gank from the side of from the side of Lowered Expectations, I should say, sorry. Yeah, just hit the building. You have time. I love Objective just skirting around a second. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that camp, I mean. They're building up for me, man. Right, Joanna's taking shots. We can see now the tower is going to be taken down. Deathwing is bottom, considering doing bottom camp, but this objective is slowly going over the side of Lowered Expectations. Oh, tired and sore, man. Alright, RK Punisher is in favor of Lowered Expectations. It's not quite a frozen one, unfortunately, for them, but still can get a lot of value. Meanwhile, we can see a little bit of a spread. Zaylev in user era with W-Star mid. We can see Vacuity is bottom, so we're just getting a little bit of a split push idea, but that's not going to be worth if the side of Lowered Expectations get this keep. We can see now we're getting wholesale halves. Sure, these towers are going to go down, but that's going to be a very open keep up top. If they actually choose to hit it. Mouse. Deathwing drops in the middle. Canuck and Dingo in a rough spot. We do see Canuck being dropped out by a bomb. Telephius going in. Blaze dropping bunker. And there we see the conflagration from Vacuity. This building all the while slowly going down. And there goes the Punisher in the end. Right, so camps are up, teams are rotating. We're getting back into a little slow. We're getting into the between times now where it's not going to be quite as quick. We're going to take a little bit more time, think about what we're doing, smell the roses, so to speak. But now top is very even, and Lowered Expectations are ahead on structures as they do have the bottom one as well. We see that Hogger spins through everything, doesn't quite find it. Dingo dodges the charge. Spudmax, however, is not. And unfortunately for Spudmax, they're very squishy compared to Dingo. But they are still going to escape unless Zaylev has anything to say about it. Spudmax, what are you doing? Neon does hit bomb of him. Spudmax goes in, does push Neon away. Spudmax is hit away by the Hogger. We can see that is a Sonya for Imperious. I'm very surprised that Kalphus got to live with that. That was probably a spot where Kalphus could have very much died, but no, they got to hold on, they got to live. Vacuity is going to be hit, but no, there is not quite the damage to take them down. Did Sonya go slam? I think Sonya would have been better if they just kept slamming them. I don't know. Interesting to see Hurricane as well. Especially because there's not necessarily any roots on... Oh, I guess there's Anduin. Anduin and Blaze. Yeah. Anduin, Blaze. definitely can slow. I guess it removes slows. It doesn't queen slows. Does it constantly remove slows? I don't know. I think it just temporarily removes, right? But he'll get it back immediately. She'll get it back immediately. I don't know. You see now towers are down, and the 4 out of the 5 men of Lord Expectations are threatening this fort. Kid Canuck finally goes in to get slams on that building. They're now in trouble, get stunned. They do jump out. Leap is a lifesaver sometimes. Lifesaver? Lifesaver sometimes. And we can see that Kid Canuck lives where they possibly should have died. And now we're in a position where we're going to be pushing into buildings. Oh, nice route coming on out. Neon wasn't quite able to find the charge that they were hoping for. And they are in the middle of a lot of danger now. Meanwhile, below we can see that Dingo is done. I don't know any other rhyme for that, man. That was the best alliteration I had in my head. We can see that they did die in the end. And this fort is going to go down now. Zayliv keeps going in. I keep thinking it's Neon for some reason because they did swap. But we can see Telefius and Spudmax running upwards. Nice snipe there by W-Star. A good finish by Neon, finding the charge and the kill. Kicking it, running from the gate. Do get through. They're going to be fine. Potentially intentional bait. It is hard to say. But we do now see that Maximum Thrust is taking control of this map and are going to be tearing it open. Oh, God, I'm tired. Oh, I wasn't up. But yeah, we are 20s to 20s, and this has been a very close game so far. It looks like it may be an end call coming out for Maximum Thrust. It is very hard to say. It is indeed, as they do have that burn notice Blaze, and that burn notice. Whenever I see burn notice, I'm very aware that feels like Blaze is wanting to call it there. Coming out, finding both bruises. That may be the end of, and it is the end of Sonya very quickly. You can now see Blaze is going to be clearing the building slowly but surely. Dingo is doing their best to run the distraction. They do get horrified. They do get bellowing roared, I should say, for their efforts. Acuity goes down, and at this point, you just need to hit the core if you're Maximum Thrust, and they do actually go down. And why are you spamming tea? Why are you spamming coffee? Very confused. But that is first map of the series going over the side of Maximum Thrust. Well played for the first round. As we do see, they did have a very good first map. Pterosaur, 70k healing compared to 56. Very good stuff there. Galefus had the most hero damage and most siege for lower expectations, 45k and 108k respectively. Meanwhile, it is going to be Vacuity with 56k damage of their own, and Hogger with 99k siege of their own. Hogger 15k soak compared to Sonya's 15k soak, so pretty even between the two. Nice. And let's have a look at talents very quickly as well. A lot of healing from the Malfurion, very standard. Interesting though to see the Vengeful Roots at level 1. Again, you usually see Emerald Dream at level 1, or Emerald Roots, or whatever it's called. The Sleepy Roots at level 1, which I wouldn't mind happening to me right now. I could do with a good nap. But anyway, we also do see an interesting hybrid build from Sonya with a little bit of both Slam and W. That Fire Breath, oh yeah, Fire Breath is a hell of a thing, Vacuity, as it does do a lot of damage, especially once 13 and 16 roll around in particular. Conflagration does an excellent job, and we did have that more kind of mage wing, as some people call it, style build. Blaze did go at pretty standard build. I do like Meltdown as well, as it is very good in the tank slot, especially when you have 3 people grouping around you at most times, as both all Imperious Joanna and Sonya all melee based. So very good stuff, and I'm going to swap it on over to my game map view screen. Yeah, that's what I want. So what do we think map number 2 is going to be, folks? I have not seen it, I've just been talking. So it should be fun. It's a good first map. I expect a good second one as well. In fact, I demand a good second one from both Lowered Expectations and Maximum Thrust. But they feel like they will deliver no matter what I request. Oh, I thought it was like, oh, there's a map. No, it isn't. team is backing on out. I'm getting like 10 million messages as soon as I cast. Why is it only when I cast everyone decides to message me? It's very inconvenient. But it does happen. It's very unfortunate if it happens, but it does happen. And I'm going to make sure I don't miss anything in particular. I'm on the screen where I don't just share all my DMs on accident. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we do like to see. Right. Lots of area control. Yeah, lots of area. I guess in saying that, both teams did have a lot of area control. As well, both teams do have a lot they can have in front of them. Joe offers good control. Blaze offers good control. Two heroes off the bat that do have that zone potential. Sonya Imperius doesn't do as well as Deathwing. Deathwing does have a very good control, like zone of control from there on. But it's nothing to sneeze at either way. So I'm going to do is scroll down to the NGS channel, see if it's anyone, if you've made a lobby yet. Hopefully we can get back into things soon. Interesting. Open a Whisper with you. Oh, there it is. We have Volskaya Foundry coming up next. And I can tell you who map picked that in a few moments. It looks like it was picked by Maximum Thrust. So, a lot of expectations opted into first pick once again. Oh, God, I love stretching. Makes me feel so good. So, Volskaya Foundry is definitely one of the ones we see less this season. I do like seeing it and saying that. It's definitely one of the fun ones. And it's definitely because I see it less, I guess I'm more inclined to go, yeah! Volskaya! But, yeah, that is really my breakdown of it. I don't know if just Maximum Thrust has a very good set plan for this map. That's why they did choose it. Or is this a map they do well on in general, even if they don't have anything particularly set up? I think this game shouldn't count. I had a rock in my shoe and fair enough. I'm still going to count it anyway. I do not want this to turn into a best of 4 for no reason. But we can see all members are in now. So that is good. And I'm typing somewhere I can't see. Carister ready. I'll just let them know I am ready when they are. As I'm more than happy to get on with it and see where we go. It looks like that's lowered expectations already. It looks like that Maximum Thrust already. So I assume we'll be getting into it in a few moments. I imagine we'll also see pretty similar bans as well. I don't think Joanna will get through. But I also go, you ban a Kalfazard for a reason. If you see a Kalfazard ban, you're like, okay, bud, I don't trust that. That's going. I think we may see, I don't know if we see a Rexar ban again. Maybe not in time, at least. But right, let me switch on over into the game screen, draft screen, and we can see how this goes, shall we? So, lowered expectations, Maximum Thrust. What do you have in store for us this game? As we do see Deathwing is banned out first, they do give it a good old respect ban, as I don't think they very much enjoyed playing into it. And we see Kalfazar banned out once again. They're not wanting that Bone Daddy to really do anything. Which, fair enough. Bone Daddy is not necessarily one you want to be able to do many things. God, just reading better team did go Cho'Gall. Jesus Christ. Counting down, we do see Zul picked up. Well, Zul banned out once again. So Zul is a consistent ban between the two maps. Go team says asterisk 3877. Let's go lowered expectations. Raka just wants a best of 3 is what I'm figuring out slowly but surely. So that is a fun one. Counting down once again. What is going to be the next ban? Are we going to get the same as before or are we not? And it is a Stukov being banned out. So yeah, we do have similar bans. Once again, the only new ban is Deathwing, and I can't remember what it replaced. Also, welcome Raka. I hope you're doing well, and welcome Asterix. I always appreciate new people showing up. I hope you're all doing well. Joanna, first picked once again. Telefius picking that up. So they're really not fussed about Joanna then. Okay. So they must be going with yet another kind of beefier composition, and I do enjoy seeing those. So you see User Era picking up Anduin and Blaze being picked up once again. So we are pick for pick the same as the last series so far. Welcome to Into Zero Star. Hope you're doing well. Which I guess now you're W Star in game, aren't you? Wow, we really have a lot of Maximum Frost in here, and I'm just going to point out that look at Raka not supporting your team. Anyway, next 2 picks, we do see Chromie from Floodmax and Sonya Kidkanik this time. Which, if you're planning on Sonya again, I think you may wait that one, because I think otherwise they would have banned out for Rexar. I think you may showed your hand a little bit too early there, lowered expectations. But that is alright. And I think this is going to be a little bit scarier, especially once Chromie, as this map can also get later, Chromie gets 18 and Piercing Sands. It doesn't matter how much beef you have in front of you, sand gets everywhere. It's coarse, it's rough, it gets everywhere. And we do see Alarak rounding things out, which I do know it is Dingo who is the one who does like throwing in the Alarak, throwing in the Malthael. So none of that from Dingo today. We see Savannah's banned up. Fair enough. So are we going to get more standard comps this time? It is one of those ones where we do see more standard comps more often. But having a triple front line has never... Well, it doesn't hurt by the looks of things, considering how these teams have been doing. W Star picking up Li Ming. And Junkrat being picked up. So no triple front line this time for Maximum Frost. They have a lot of annoying poke instead. Nice. Just what you want to see. Last 2 picks for lowered expectations. We do see Brightwing picked up. And we do have Imperious routing things out from Dingo. So, triple frontline once again for lowered expectations. Zaliv, what are you picking? The one-man wrecking crew himself, Gazlow. Which, if you're now a triple frontline comp, you're like, oh, we now have to be a bit more careful, as Gravo Bomb is an excellent tool to help deal with that triple frontline, dealing with that rush down, as you can get pretty good combos on it. And if you have Junkrat and Li Ming also pumping damage into it, that can be a lot. But without further ado, what I'm going to do is go into the game after the opening reel, so see you all on the other side of it. So, pretty good timing by opening sequence for once. So, for the side of lowered expectations, we have Dingo on the Imperious. Kidkanik is on the Sonya once again. So, oh god, I've zoomed back in on accident. Spud Max on Chromie. Telefius on the Joanna and Pterosaur on the Brightwing. So 3 out of the 5 heroes still the same there. On the other side, we do have Zalev on the Gazlo, Vacuity, Junkrat, W-Star, Li Ming. User Era is on the Anduin, and rounding things out is Neon on the Blaze. So the question becomes, will we get a free map series yet again, or will this be the end of the road for lowered expectations? I hope not. I have pretty good expectations about these people, which is unfortunate. Welcome, Mr. Craig. Good to see the Line Bus fan club is here in their one-man force, I believe. Q coming through from Chromie, not quite finding anything that time. Spudmax actually taking a decent amount of damage here. See that the side of Maximum Thrust has stepped up and is clearing it pretty well. And I'm going to have a quick look at talents while we're here, because we do see Blaze is stacking globes once again with new habits. That's the only stacking for one side. We do see Chromie is... Ooh, nice charge by Neon, actually. As I say, Chromie is once again the first time, as well as, yes, Junkrat is Australian. And the other thing we do see is Laws of Hope Joanna. Oh, Spear falling just short of Neon there. Also, we see Gazlo has gone bottom, going to clear themselves. Meanwhile, Kikanek is doing a little bit of double clear, a little bit of double rotate. Telephius a little bit higher up than everyone else. And Chromie is getting her level 2 online now, and they are going to be speed traps, which is chronic conditions. And I can never remember that one, because I only pick Adrenal Anomaly. You can see the teams are forming 4-mans together once again. They're starting to roam in packs once again. This is one of those maps you can double rotate, but you should have been on your siege camp, this turret camp, like a good 30 seconds ago at this point, because you can potentially get 2 of them out very quickly. And I have to say, it's much better discipline from Kid Canuck here, as Sonya is like, you know what, I can do this by myself. I'm going to slap it a bit, get that turret for me very quickly. And we are going to see people rotate up. Dingo just sitting in a bush by themselves, being very aggressive. Neon does find for Wall before they can find Dingo. And unfortunately, with how Blaze Charge works, for Wall wins every single time. Nice damage. Neon backing up. And we do see that charge coming out from Neon. Nice damage following up onto it. Dingo doesn't quite find the spear, as that is Neon walking away with quite low health and even lower mana. And we get rotate come back down. There it is. Brightwing's clearing. Kid Canuck is it. Does spin through things. This is correct, Mr. Craig. This is a tank Blaze.
Prepare to begin field testing.
I dig it on the Zealot tier. I dig it when you're playing tank Blaze. It's better than bloody endurance stim pack. Alright, we do see Wave being cleared by W-Star and Junkrat. Junkrat will be picking up in a few moments. Oh, imagine if Junkrat just literally concussion mined, like walked over here and concussion mined themselves out. But no, Pterosaur will be walking to pick it up as well. And we do see Neon is now clearing. Just above them, W-Star does blink out of range. User Era steps all the way into melee before they decide to heal W-Star. And now we can see Dingo is the one in trouble. Zalev is going to throw their... throw their stun out, and they're going to be fine at the end. Meanwhile, we see charge coming out from Neon onto Joanna. Joanna does unstop before she can pop, and that is going to be fine there. Spear coming from Dingo doesn't quite find Zalev. Zalev going to be fine. Oh, Mr. Craig, that's on you at that point. But we can see everyone is rotating down Neon a little bit later. 60% of the objective. And level 7's nearly in favor for lowered expectations. So they realize they're going to fight now. Nice stun by Blaze. Time stop coming just on Neon. Neon pops their armor. 40 full armor on them is a lot to say the least. But Neon is being forced out. Getting relatively low. Kid Canuck spinning. That is 2 turrets popped. I got a massive lag spike there. Oh my gosh. You can see now that it is Neon getting very low. But Dingo even lower goes down. And we can hear the Leeming reset happen. Kid Canuck goes for Neon, but finds Vacuity instead. Charge finding that Sonya. Blaze getting very low. Blaze may need to tap. Zayla meanwhile is like, I don't need mana. I am fine. I just need health. But they do eventually wrestle over the objective to their favor as level 7s are online for both teams. And actually, we're on later for Maximum Thrust compared to lowered expectations. Now note that turret camps are up. I do like that lowered expectations are on theirs. We can now see that Maximum Thrust are doing their own. Well played there. So we are converging back to the objective. Turret doing a decent amount already. Zaylev drops their bomb. Neon slowly walking through the slowing sands, falling just short of Chromie. Unfortunately, a little bit of counter synergy there as Chromie pops the hourglass, so Neon doesn't get hit with the spear. Kid Canuck very low, does get taken up by the Anduin at the end of that. Nice spear by Dingo, just to be pushed out away from everything. Spudmax goes down. Pterosaur is in a trap, but does manage to escape upwards. Dingo low, Pterosaur low, Telefius low. But objective does go over to the team of Maximum Thrust. Dingo goes to spear in. Is going to get a little bit of brand action on that, but not much more. Boop. Interesting to see we are getting such a hard push mid when typically you expect the Protector to be taken bottom. Nice punch from Protector. We are going to get it slowly going down. They will need to back up now by the looks of things. The hand falls just short of the building itself, and there it goes. Chromie finding the last couple of hits. And Chromie is now at 33 out of the 40 they need, and thank you for following Colkin. Wait, yeah, Colkin. Hope you're having a good day. Vacuity does run to safety out the bottom. Make sure they take the long rotate around. Gazlo was there to help if need be, but was not needed. Speaking of the side of Maximum Thrust, they do have their level 10s available to them. We do see that it is Riptide, Junkrat, Bunker Blaze, Wave of Force Li Ming, Anduin did go the Light Bomb, and we do see that the Gnome, no, the Goblin, Gazlo is still thinking about it. On the other side, however, they have not needed extra time to think about it. They do, oh, never mind, it's Black Hole, there you go. Not Black Hole, Graver Bomb. I think so. On the other side, we do Blink Heal, Brightwing, Leap, Sonya, Slowing Sands, Chromie, Rathith, and Garrus on the Imperius, and Blizzard Shield on Joanna. Pretty good all-round heroics. Nice dodge. We see Zaylev keep stepping up, and we can see there was a nice hit of the orb by W-Star. There goes the Junkrat Riptide. W-Star not quite finding anything that time, unfortunately. Ugh. Good defense there by the side of lowered expectations, not losing too much. They did lose a wave or so, but that was about it. Dingo didn't quite hit Neon. Neon actually falls short to Telefius. There goes an Orb Leap, going a little bit over Vacuity. Vacuity on top of their trap, now able to escape. Imperius does have their heroic escape. If they get walking, they may have survived actually. Or at least not get pulled. We can see now Chromie has finished her quest. And that will be that team fight down once again. We're getting a lot of team fights with a lot of buttons pushed. Buttons pushed, but not many deaths coming from it. Interesting. Bomb coming out, falls short of Dingo. Rotation coming down. No, they're just instead going to be taking the support camp. Fair enough, the support camp is a good camp nevertheless. Alright. Slapping coming on out into Telefius. Telefius backing up. Neon going in a nice stun. There goes the Riptide through. Spudmax low. Riptide does get stunned. Pterosaur trying to keep alive, but no, both Brightwing and the Chromie go down to the Riptide. So now we see that's a lot of the damage and the healing missing, but there is still a good free man up. As we do see they can get the heal camp, drop it immediately, but Telefius still goes down at the end of all that. Leap going out onto the Li Ming, and that's Li Ming going down. You'll probably vision of, oh wow, Gazlo's pushing bottom by way, so it has been a 4v5 volt, or 5v4 at first. But no, it looks like that will be the end of that, as Kid Canuck does get their lifeline, and Zaylev gets bottom fort after it all. Oh, Neon goes for the charge, doesn't quite find Dingo. Dingo going for one way, Neon probably wasn't expecting. See the damage reduction coming out, Dingo doing the best to go through Neon, but Kid Canuck wants them as well. We can see that it is a forced out onto them. Right. Hourglass coming from Chromie. Oh, spear just a little bit early for Dingo. Dingo does get hit by a trap. Dingo does go into the... Oh, it actually doesn't go into bunker, but Dingo does get hit by Gravo. We do see that Light Bomb follow-up does hit him as well. Pterosaur blinks out to Spudmax. You can see it stunned from Neon, and there is no leap to help them out. Joanna isn't with the team. And that is a few kills. No worries about that tie. It's only been a few hours? I actually don't know how long it's been going. Yeah, almost 3 hours now. W-Star blinking around does throw a little bit of a arcane volley around. That Leeming is very good for that. And now we see Vacuity stepping up, starting to clear the wave. The Protector, 50% of a wave there for the side of Maximum Thrust. See that Neon actually over the steps. Does hit the insta-stun onto Imperius. Imperius gets hit by a Junkrat Riptide in the process. And that will be that objective. Nice hit of the Leeming. Wow, I forgot what it's called. Leeming Magic Missile once again. We can see that Brightwing does eat a trap. And now we're into overtime of the objective. Bravo Bomb coming out. And that is a lot of damage coming out to Kid Cannock. Kid Cannock actually ends up far more higher than I thought they would. And unfortunately for the team, we've just found out that Light Bomb hits while Blaze is in the bunker. Nice charge on Silifius, but is Anduin going down first? There we see now the Sonya going out as well. Brightwing is still up, so that means it will need to be a disengage for Maximum Thrust, as lowered expectations do muscle their way onto it in the end. Imperius got found by a trap. So honestly, if you have a team, you go push elsewhere, don't you? Wait for your Leeming and Anduin to get back up, then push top. See if you can steal their camp as well for good measure. Take their turret, use it against them. Easy money. It looks like that may be the case. Dingo is, however, making their way downtown, walking fast, Nimbus past. And they're deathbound. Oh, that was a little bit of a mistake by Vacuity there. If Dingo wasn't booped, they were going to get hit by the concussion mine of Gazlo, not concussion mine of Gazlo, the Gravel Bomb of Gazlo. But instead, we're coming up top now. As you see, Spudmax, Telepius, and Pterosaur all the way alone. Well, alone in the sense that it's not 5 people with them. Also, Junkrat just died. Elite is found on the team. We can see that the Bastion that is a Protector is available to them. Alright, we can see that it is blazing once again. Only hits for hand onto Spudmax. And now we do have him slowly but surely pushing up. Does get stopped by an Hourglass, which I do love the Hourglass technique of slowing people down on this map. And now it's going for a walk. Is it going to go mid-keep? Sorry there, as we do see now, the objective is going to hit Dingo. Dingo gets relatively low, gets pushed by the Protector away, hits Pterosaur in the butt. Now we see Dingo doing what they can to Protector, as it is making its way back top once again. 30 seconds left on it, 30% left on its health. Definitely been, it's a little bit worse for wear. It's had a little bit of damage as he's backed into some power poles. Gonna be fine. Oh, Dingo in trouble. This is a very brawly Protector, but we can see that W-Star does get out, and soon it will be the Blaze out as well. Rotating down, trap narrowly missed, and Brightwing decides to eat it. Right. Objective being, well, waves being cleared, camps being started. W-Star and user Aero doing their own, and meanwhile we can see Imperius slowly getting through theirs. Does pop their Holy Fervor to clear it a bit faster. So I do really like Holy Fervor. It makes offlane Imperius much more viable. It does mean you miss out on the shielding of that looked really related to me. Of the Q, but that's honestly part of the long run. Nice stun. See Unskin Park. We can see Paul coming out for Anduin. If they're going to be fine at the end of the day, and I'm yawning while I'm speaking, and that's just because I'm tired, not because the game boring, because actually the game is quite exciting to me. You can now see that Neon is pushing up, Light Bomb and Gravel Bomb is active. There's Leap. There's the Gravel Bomb. And once again, Vacuity just pushing people around sometimes, making sure that they can't do their job. I just zoned out as I said that sentence. What did I just say? Furious is dead. Receive it. Oh, Li Ming is getting resets. That's Calamity. Oh my gosh. She murdered them. My gosh. They just died. That was a hell of a play from W Star. Man, I'm happy I got this one. That was perfectly lined up for W Star as well, my word. You can see now the teams are pushing in. This keep will go down, but they're not going to be able to get much more of that. Burner is picked up by Blades once again, as we do have a 20s rolling through. Extra oomph, Junkrat, so Riptide is going to get that cooldown reduction, 25 seconds per hero hit, up to a maximum of 75 seconds, which coincidentally is its full cooldown. So hit 3 heroes, you get it back immediately. Objective being picked up. There we go. No objective. Why do I keep saying objective when it's a cap? It's just the camp line. Focus. There comes a Riptide, a little bit preemptive this time. Chromie Sands do a decent amount to it. Polymorph on the tire. Looks like a grab. It needs at least a couple of hits here to be worth, and it is. We'll be back on a 12 seconds, which is a pretty good time, especially because the objective is coming up. We can see Gazlo is going to be first to walk on it, just all the way down here. This Gazlo alone. String. We do see the Riptide coming out. Oh, I've accidentally clicked on Chromie. My bad. There we go, fixed it. Nice leap from Kikanook. We do see the jump coming out from W Star. W Star does escape. Pull onto Vacuity as well, and we see the chase is still on. Furious goes for the grab. Neon does drop the bunker and runs downwards. Good play. Makes it onto the treadmill. W Star nearly taking out Kikanook in process. And that is going to be that fight done. I'm actually like falling asleep at my desk. I'm so sorry, guys. I guess this will have to be the last match I do. Apparently, I've had some very bad sleeps recently and am ready to sleep as is. And we can now see that Gazlo is being chased off. Keep in mind, that fight was all the way down. 5v4, 4v5. Yeah, 5v4, I guess is true what you'd say. And lowered expectations when we get anything. That is Grab Bomb, that is Pterosaur getting hit by a lot. And we can see it is Gazlo spreading bombs. Li Ming is wanting to Telephius. Does finish it with the Wave of Force. Spud Max, you're in danger, my friend. And that's him going down as well. I guess now you just run core, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Just like go through here. Don't even bother hitting the building. Just like run past it, man. Yep, W-Star has the idea. GG's called by Pterosaur. Yeah, unfortunately, it's still a good 25 seconds. That's the plan. I'm planning on having a snooze after this. But this score is dropping. We do see that Neon gets pushed. You can see that teams are going to be slowly burning down. But Protector has just joined their team now. And that will be the one hit from them. That's the game. And the series going over the side of Maximum Frost. GG is called by both sides. Well played. Well played indeed. So, as we can see, and I'm going to put myself in a lobby and see if anyone's willing to join me. As we can see, it was another map win for Maximum Thrust. It was Li Ming did pop off that time. W Star got an excellent amount of kills at the end of all that, and I forgot to actually join a lobby. Well done, me. Neon did excellent tanking. So, in terms of stats, 92k damage from Li Ming compared to the highest of 41k from Chromie. Definitely a good amount. Joanna and Gazlo very close in terms of siege, as well as Soak doing well between two teams. And we do have Neon joining us. How you doing? Anyone? Oh, well.
It's like a pun name, but anyways.
Well,
so,
I wish I knew that one like
no,
an hour earlier.
Yeah. No, if I wanted an easy pronounced name, I'd be like John, but here we are.
You know what? Fair enough. How are you feeling after that series? It was a definitely excellent way to close it out with that Li Ming just kind of rolling through people.
Yeah. The joke was our Ming player did all of that with one hand. he doesn't even need both hands to play her. So that's just how it works.
That's just a 12-button mouse at that point. That's how I play Hawks.
Yeah, no, that was good. Last time these guys we played them, they melted us with a Kel'Thuzad. And so we banned that, and then they came back and they out macroed us and outplayed us with a Rexar Alarak. So that's why you saw those bans coming through.
Makes sense.
So yeah.
I was like, man, we're seeing 2 Kel'Thuzad bans. Weird, must be targeted. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah.
Map number 1, Infernal Shrines. We got 2 very beefy comps on both sides. Were you expecting them to also run the triple frontline? Or were you just like, let's see how this goes?
We weren't expecting it, but we'd kind of planned on doing like a having some sort of sustain other than like single, like not double mage, but we said, you know what, with 2, like often with 2 CCs like that, running Deathwing's nice because he can kind of just take the roots and everything and doesn't matter, right? So that's kind of why we like him on that to take all of the CC.
All right. And do you think it would have been a bit harder if Malfurion went Sleepy Roots as opposed to Vengeful Roots, so Treant?
He went Treant, right?
Yes.
I don't know how much damage it was doing, but as Blaze, I felt like every single charge I did, I was in a root. So
at least still annoying for you.
I thought I was asleep. I thought there was so many roots that he had taken the sleepy roots, but apparently not. So yes, I think it would have been worse.
So that map was a bit rough to... Actually, you had a pretty good start, but the mid game is where it started to kind of become a lot more difficult, and even in the late game, they had opened up your top keep pretty early on. What was your kind of headspace going into that late stages of the game going, okay, we've got that win condition open, how do we go about this?
Yeah, well, they surprised, like, we went for like a camp top right, and we didn't see them. Well, we actually, as we were wiping, someone was like, oh, you know what, I saw them over there, but I didn't say anything. I didn't think it would be a problem, and but it was, and we should have not gone there. So yeah, I mean, after that, I mean, I think first Punisher, you saw that we did a split, like we pushed top while they pushed bottom, or vice versa, right? So we said, okay, let's just do that again. We have forts to spare, and if we can get a big push, that's going to be a lot better than us trying to go and like force some fight under a Punisher.
And I think both times you actually got more from pushing yourselves than it actually the Punisher got.
Yeah, I mean, Tassadar's pretty good siege. Deathwing's great, pretty good siege. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's go take a building.
Yeah, and it definitely worked out for the first map. While Sky Foundry was a little bit more in your favor, I'd say. Did everything go to plan there during the draft? Did they ban out any key pieces, or was it kind of everything fell into place as you wanted it?
Yeah, the draft went as we expected. We had to choose. We was like choose between Stukov, Johanna, or Kel'Thuzad. So we said we'd rather face Johanna again. That did limit our auto attack picks, which is why it was so Junkrat's not as affected by that versus someone else, and that let us put W Star on Ming, who I think his Ming has been banned out for since the 2019s, so we were excited to be able to have him play that.
Yeah, I think I see why. I imagine there's some borderline maniacal laughter from W Star at some point there, especially after that 5k.
Yeah, I was glad that Anduin stole the 5 kill from him again, just because
Can't have him have all the glory. You have to cut it out now.
Gotta save some glory save some for the rest of us, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do notice that you guys were running main tank Blaze both for times. Is that just your most comfortable tank? Because more often than not, we see him be offlane nowadays.
Yeah. I think he's a fantastic main tank. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people play him main tank, but a lot. I mean, we also play him as an offlane, so we usually first pick him and then flex him to offlane if it calls for it.
You know what? Fair enough. If it works, it works. And I do have one more question about your comp and just in general. Gazlo, was that just we're expecting the free frontline again. Let's go Gaz to interrupt that, or was Gazlo always the plan? Or what would you have picked if not Gazlo?
We were seeing a lot. I mean, so what do you call it? The Gravo Bomb ends up being really good on that map because you're all fighting over points.
Yep.
So you get a lot of good opportunities. When we were doing like some Storm League this week, we played some team and just wrecked them with Gravo on Volskaya. So we were excited about it. Second place probably would have been. We probably at that point I probably would have gone May and he would have taken Blaze or something.
Ah, okay, right. Fair enough. So, as I'm quite tired, as I nearly fell asleep partway during the break between the two maps and went, oh god, I actually need to go to have a nap soon. Any notes from you? Anything? Any thanks? Any words? The floor is yours.
Yeah. Thanks for casting for us. Are you in a later time zone?
No, I'm not. That's the worst
Okay.
thing. It's 5:30 p.m. Like, man, I need to sleep.
Yeah, okay.
I'm in my old man era. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, that's welcome to the club. No, yeah, thanks for casting. I think for Division D, we were noting in the pregame how a lot of these teams we've been playing against each other for like 3 or 4 seasons now, and unless one of us really gets a lot better, I think we're going to be playing against each other a few more seasons upcoming. So shout out to Div D for being good competition.
At least you don't have to scout every time you play them, Ben. You're like, oh, we more or less know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
Right, no worries. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good evening. Well, nice
right,
at this point,
you.
actually. Take care.
Thank you, man.
Right, so that is going to be it for me, chat. I am, as I said, tired. Very tired. All I want to do is sleep now. So, it is going to be what happens. So, I am going to raid someone. Yeah, let's go Gimme More, shall we? So they were in the first match we casted today, part of FenSad. They did excellent in of themselves. But that has been a good couple of series we've watched today, and to everyone who joined, thank you for joining. I do greatly appreciate it, as the audience does make everything a little bit more special, I'd say, whenever we do this. So I have been your host for this evening, V Line Bus. And I wish everyone a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, because time zones are weird, especially with daylight savings time screwing me up recently. But I'll see you all in the Nexus, well, one time at least. So I'll catch you all for now. Take care.